we'll bring up our next speakers here. Another couple, Mike and Janice Timmons. So, Mike and Janice, why don't you kind of tell us your story?
Okay, before I tell our story, I want to tell you about a really cute app for your telephone, and it's called I Deserve a Donut. And when I got it, it was free, so I don't know, but it's when you want to eat, you can go to it, and it asks you all these questions about why you want to eat and all that. So that has been a fun thing. But I've been a career dieter all my life. Since I weighed 98 pounds, I was dieting. But we've just had some, like you say, wake-up calls. And Mike's had health, he's had heart problems and diabetes. And I just kept gaining and gaining through stress, basically. And we started in the program, and I can't remember, but it's probably been about 5 months that we started on it. And, you know, I started cooking different recipes and stuff like that. And watching my carbs, but I was the kind of person that didn't realize the hidden carbs. And that, like, everything has carbs, just about, you know. And we talk about eating all these vegetables and stuff like that. They have carbs. And so I had to really begin to rethink again what I needed to do. And for me, I had to go just try to stick at the 20 grams of carbs. And for me to lose weight is like impossible. You know, and he can, of course, lose it fast. And so I deal with anxiety and depression and fatigue. Those are my 3 partners that I've had most of my life. And they are better from time to time, but I still fight them. But I have enough anxiety that when I'm going to go on something, that I get really obsessed about it. And so, and that has been a good thing and a bad thing. But I've lost 14 pounds since I started, and kept off about at least 10 of them, which that's like a miracle, you know, for me in that length of time. And I'm never hungry. That's the biggest shock to me, is that I could eat stuff that satisfied me. I mean, real meat, really? I mean, not just chicken. You can eat beef, you can eat pork, you can eat all of these things, and you're satisfied. One of the things that I eat, you know, maybe 2 eggs and 3 pieces of bacon. I cook it, and then I eat part of it, and then I save some of it for a snack or something like that. But I could literally get by with 2 meals a day for myself.
And it's not that you're forcing yourself to do that.
Not at all, of course, not at all. But it's like, we went on a cruise. This was a big story. And he wound up we got kicked off the cruise because his heart rate went down to 31. And so we wound up in Jamaica. No, we wound up in Grand Cayman, excuse me. The next stop was Jamaica. And so getting back from that, I realized we got to do something. His diabetes was getting out of control, and I was getting fatter and fatter. And so that's really when we made the decision.
What kind of numbers were you having, Mike?
Well, everything, as I went along in life, it just seemed like every time I went to the doctor, everything was worse. On the cholesterol, the good and the bad was exactly reversed of what it's supposed to be, and it just kept getting worse. My weight kept inching up a little bit. My blood sugar, of course, I started on metformin on the pill, and then I went to a shot, then I went to another shot, then I went to more shots, and I was on 3 different shots at one time, different types of insulin. And the high was at 8.5, and it reached at one time. But I had 3 heart episodes last year, and that kind of got me worried. And then this spring I had a gallbladder attack, and I went and had it taken out immediately, and I didn't want to go back to the hospital anymore. That's enough of that stuff. And I was doing real good on this diet. And somehow or another, I don't know exactly what tripped it, but I got into an episode with my digestive system that was just completely traumatic. I mean, it kicked me out of gear. Nothing was working. I didn't digest anything for 3 months. And I lost about 14 pounds when that happened. And so I just quit everything and just tried to eat whatever I could try to metabolize. And started getting off medications and everything. And after about 2 months, I got regulated again, and I was getting back on to the carbohydrate diet because I quit the fat. And I had to because of that. And that during that episode, I lost another 20 pounds. But now that I need to get back on it, I need what I call a hard reboot. Because you try to just ease into it, you know. I mean, this ice cream cone will hurt. You know, who says something about that? You know, it's just a little bit, you know. This is just once. But if I can get back and have no carbs at all, that's my goal, and that's working. One thing that my story that's helped me that nobody's talked about is the guided meditation tapes. That I started listening to those things, and the longer I listened to them, the less hungry I got.
That's right.
You know, I know what it is, but we're glad to have the guided meditation tapes. That's a good way of putting it. But it does encourage you to think about: do I really need to eat this? What is in this package? So that's a big part of my story, is that I have had to go through all this trouble and all this traumatic things that I had happened, but by staying with where I am and staying with the course, it makes a lot of sense. I never understood that I was supposed to eat carbs, and I have a brother-in-law that's on 60 carbs today, and he's keeping his sugar like it's supposed to be, and I don't understand how, but he's never been fat in his whole life, and he's still not fat, so maybe it's working for him, but it sure didn't work for me, but this does work for me. And one other thing I want to say while I'm thinking about it, one time in my life, I went to a doctor, a medical doctor, and the next day, that lady called me. Have you ever had a doctor call you the day after you went to an appointment? I mean, she called me on my cell phone. She said, I've been looking at your reports, and you need to do such and such and so and so. And I thought, I want to go back to this gal. And now she's moved. But I've had one other doctor since then that cares enough about me to call me and say, all right, how are you doing? What's going on? Okay, you got a question? Let me answer this question. And that means so much to know that somebody that is professional is looking at it and is concerned about what's going on and knows what's going on and how to do some of the things. The thing that he told me to do and that worked for me was beef broth. Somehow or another, there was something in that beef broth that helped my digestive tract get back where it's supposed to be and do what it's supposed to be doing. And that was because of him. No doctor told me that, and anybody anywhere from Dr. Justin, and I appreciated that so much.
Yes.
But I feel like I've come an awful long ways from having open heart surgery, stents in my bypasses, and then having to have a pacemaker put in. It's been quite a road in the last year, but I really feel like that we have found the key. I went on Atkins when it first came out, and I lost like 30 pounds, and I don't know why I never went back on it. You know, because it really was good, and it felt like it did me a lot of good.
Well, and one interesting thing, and one reason I wanted you guys to speak, not only did your A1C go from 8.5 to 5.9, and you lost weight, but it's not always easy.
No.
It's not, and so, you know, you went through this episode of 2 months of trying to figure out how to get your digestion back to normal. And so that was hard. And I know you kind of struggled too. You want to tell us some of that?
Yes, I do. I was thinking while everybody was talking that, I mean, it has been hard for us. I mean, I had every...
It's a lot easier for men to lose weight, by the way, which isn't fair, but that's just the way it is. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. Well, I had the fatigue. I had just everything. And one of the things that you told me was to drink a cup of beef broth. And I mean, within minutes after that beef broth, I had my energy back. I don't think I would have ever made, you know, that 2 weeks when you're getting off of everything like that was just a real struggle. I mean, it seems like Mike and I have had a lot of complications that have come up between us, and but yet we still had success. And we know, I mean, you can't, you know, my blood tests, I thought, were just horrible. You know, I was so upset. Well, he took them and he read them all, and he told me the positive things about it. and which was very encouraging, you know, that it wasn't all bad. And but we really had the struggles. But here we are.
What kind of, sorry about the feedback, what kind of, what do you guys exactly eat? Let's go there. What do you eat every day that would be low carb?
Okay. When we first started, I cooked all the time, you know, trying to think of something. I use Pinterest because it's got tons of low carb recipes on it. One of our very favorite things is the spaghetti squash, and made into chicken enchiladas. Because you can, and one thing I learned too is that when you cook that spaghetti squash and you take the fiber out, you're to squeeze it all out. So you get all the sugar out of it so it's not real runny. And then you put the cream and the cream cheese and the cheese and the rotisserie chicken in it, and mix it all with that spaghetti squash and put it back in the little bowls. This time I put it in foil so I could separate it, so we could freeze some of it. But I think that's one of our very favorite. And sometimes I crumble up, crush tortilla chips and just sprinkle a few on top of it, you know. But that, and I eat, like I said, I eat the eggs and the bacon. And one thing that I just did not think I would ever try that you told us about is the coffee with the butter in it and the coconut oil and the cream. And I've started fixing that, and it's good. But I blend it, but you blend it up, you know, real frothy and all. And, you know, and you can put it in a cup that stays hot and just drink it for a long time. And it is delicious. It is really good. And one thing that I have gotten to where when I've had a snack or a real fatigue time, I get the natural peanut butter at the natural food store, the groceries that's fresh ground. And in 2 tablespoons of that, there's 6 carbs. So if you use 1 tablespoon of it, and I put crushed nuts, salted nuts, I crush them up real fine, and I put in just some sugar-free chocolate chips, but you have to count them. And then make what you call, what is it, the fat bomb out of it. But 1 tablespoon of that, and you know, it's filling, and you're through, and you know, so that satisfied me. So I'll let Mike tell what he eats.
A lot of nuts. I eat quite a few nuts. I work outside quite a bit, farming and in the vineyard, so if I'm active, I do a lot better job of not staying hungry. If I sit and watch TV, I'm always trying to find something to put my hand in and put in my mouth. So if I'll do that, I do a lot better. I eat a lot of sunflower seeds and things like that. But every morning I have 2 eggs to scramble with some cheese on it, and a piece of bacon and some salsa, and a cafe in town. And they know not to bring me a tortilla with it, so it works out good to do that. I do want to say that after I had open heart surgery, I had like 12 prescriptions, and I'm not taking any cholesterol, I'm not taking any triglycerides, I'm not taking any hypertension, blood pressure medication. The last time is 140 over 60. My heart blood pressure was, and the triglycerides and cholesterol are right exactly where they're supposed to be in the good range. They've all changed. So, see, the only thing I'm taking is a pill for acid reflux, and I might not need that one, because if I lose just a little more weight, I think that'll be gone too. So I've changed that dramatically, and that's talking about changing the prescription bill. That my pharmacist is not near as good a friend as he used to. He'd really like to see me come in at one time, but it's not that way. I do that, and I try my best to take some kind of a juice. I'll drink cranberry juice, 50% or light, and then I'll split it in half with water. Usually take that with me because I like to have something that's kind of flavored instead of just regular water, and I've got a big Yeti cooler, and I'll take that with me and drink that and sip on that during the day. There's nothing special, magical at all, except that we do eat a lot of meat, and it does work good.
What you were talking about, you may ask this question about what we do when we eat out. Well, I get like this, we went to a restaurant in town and I got a taco without any chips or anything like that. But I just asked, they put it in a salad and all, and then I got, asked for sour cream and avocado put on it. And like the people have said, I mean, any place will do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I eat the hamburger without anything and just have all the buns and stuff like that. But it's just really, if you just kind of take charge of it and decide what, look at the menu and see how you can adapt what that would be to what it could be like low carb. It works.
That's a great practical tool. Thank you guys both. Let's give them a good round of applause.